Hi YouTube, and welcome back to the Let's Play World of Warcraft on Wednesdays. So we are running a heroic, the Oculus, this week. Starting last week, I finally figured out how to get into the Oculus versions of instances, so I have been doing them on heroic so far, and I'm going to go through as far as I can with heroics as I can. Probably through most of Wrath of the Lich King. We'll see if I have to go back to regular in Cataclysm or not. But be that as it may, so the Oculus is the top part of the Nexus Spire in the middle of Koldara. And so basically we're going to be going up one level after another, just kind of leveling quite literally up in this particular dungeon. First we go around this circle and take out all the drakes and everything. And the only reason I'm even taking out the trash mobs here is because I don't really have a choice. They position them in such a way that you can't get past them by hugging a wall or anything. Even at my level, they still aggro, so I might as well take them out. Alrighty. Lots of babies here. Too bad you can't crush the eggs too, but I guess they don't want to have you do too much. In this particular instance, there's a lot going on. So the first level here is just kind of getting past all of these dragons and baby drakes and everything. And then there's a portal at the end. I think you can see it now. And it portals you to the first boss. At this level, you can't get to the boss, to where that boss is, without going through the portal. Since you have it doesn't allow you to fly, and there's no other way to get there other than the portal. And then from there, you end up being able to get dragons that allow you to fly up into the various other levels of this particular dungeon. Alrighty, so here's the first boss. Pretty straightforward tank and spank kind of a boss here. Not a lot of tricks up his sleeve. I mean, I guess he does have a couple of things, but nothing too difficult to get past even in heroic, at least for level 90. Alright, so now that we got rid of him, now we get to get these three guys, and turn in the quest to kill him, and then have to pick up the next quest in this area. And there's 3 people in cages here, and each one of them gives you, has the ability of giving you control over a particular type of dragon aspect. There's Ruby, Emerald, and Amber. And each one of them does something a little different. The rubies are the tanks, emeralds are the healers, ambers are the DPS dragons. And for right now, the dragons, the main thing that they do is allow you to just fly from one platform to another and one level to another in this dungeon. But they come in handy for the final boss, because you have to use them in order to take out the final boss. The trick is going to be the fact that normally I take out the bosses because I'm level 90, I'm not level 80, and so I'm able to take out the bosses because I've got a lot more health, and I can do a lot more damage, etc. And so I can take out these bosses solo easily enough. But in this particular case, the final boss is going to be difficult because I have to take one of these dragons and use the dragon's abilities to take out the final boss. And we'll get more into that when we get to that particular boss fight. So we won't go into that into too much detail now. But here we go. I'm like, okay, I want to get that essence here. I ended up deciding to go with the Amber. It's the DPS. I probably should have gone with Ruby, but that's neither here nor there. We'll, like I said, we'll get into that more later. For right now, my dragon is primarily a transportation device. Now there are other dragons around that may or may not attack me, but for right now, I'm actually going towards that one platform to take out some of these constructs, is what I'm trying to take out. Because I need to get rid of all the constructs in order to unlock the next boss. And unfortunately I did aggro some of these dragons, and even though I get off my dragon, they still keep attacking me. So I've got to take these guys out, and then I got to take the dragons out. And I could get onto my dragon and use my dragon to attack the other dragons, which is basically what you do at level, because your dragon mount ends up being more powerful than you. However, I'm right now more powerful than these guys are. At my level, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna take you guys down myself personally. There we go. And now we'll go ahead and we'll summon our little dragon. Oh, sometimes I loot, sometimes I don't, but here we go. Here's my amber dragon, or amber drake. And now we'll go get the next group of constructs. There's a whole bunch of them in here, and it actually tells you at the top how many I have left. I have 7 left that I have to get rid of, and here's one of them. So I'm just gonna kind of go around and get rid of all of them one at a time, and then we can get through the next boss. I remember this was definitely one of those instances that really took a long time to run through when you're at level, just trying to deal with all of the different boss fights and everything. Because there's, like I said, there's a lot going on in this particular one. It feels almost like it's like an endless battle. I mean, not quite, but when I was playing it at the time. And it probably seemed like that to me because I don't do raids. I know raids take even longer than any of these dungeons. But this one was definitely one of the longer dungeons, as I recall. You just had a glimpse of the boss over to the left, but you can't see him right now. You have to rewind to take a look. But we'll see him again in a moment. I just need to get rid of the rest of these constructs. I got 5 left. 4 now. At least these guys are pretty easy to kill, so nothing but a good old tank and spank all the way. And if you don't know what tank and spank means, I use Google to look it up. I'm just kidding. It's basically tanking is usually there's a group of 5 people in the dungeons. For those of you who don't play World of Warcraft and are just watching the videos for fun, when you're doing these 5-minute instances, there's always going to be one tank. The tank can take the most damage and also pull the aggression of the enemies to him so that they're not attacking the other members of the party. So you always have one tank and you always have one healer. The healer keeps the tank alive primarily, but also keeps the rest of the party alive as well. And then the other 3 people in the 5-man are generally DPS, damage per second. Either melee like I am, melee meaning up close and personal, or ranged, like hunters and that kind of thing that would do their damage from a ranged position. And basically, tank and spank, you get the tank keeping the aggro on the boss, and then spank is basically all the DPS doing as much damage to the boss as possible. And that's basically why it's called tank and spank. Alright. Moving right along. So we've now gotten rid of all the constructs, so now we can take out the next boss. Big old, another dragon-looking type dude. Let's see, do we have these guys aggroed? Okay, these guys are trying to attack me, but they can't because there's still a barrier that they can't get past. I'm like, okay, good, I'm safe. So let's go ahead and take this guy out. Oh, sure, now they can attack me. Anywho, this guy's also a pretty straight up tank and spank, as you can see. Except I'm doing the tanking and the spanking all at the same time. Anywho, yep, there's a dragon that's being all sorts of mean with an ice beam on me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take you out, dude. Let's see, can I pull him down? Oh, sure, now I got a whole bunch of over here. Like, great. Go away. You guys are a bunch of pests, in my opinion. But anyway, I guess that's part of the challenge, is to avoid these guys if you can. Alright. Get rid of him. Yeah, I'm taking him out a little bit too slowly. Unfortunately, I couldn't use the oh, I forget the name of it, death grip, to pull him in. So anywho, now on to the next boss. So we got rid of him. Now we got to go up another level. And yep, there he is over there. I had to look for him for a bit, but okay. So now we get to chase this guy around. And what's interesting is you actually get to see the attack the boss right away, but then he disappears on you. And he sends his phantasmal minions after you. I'll take him out. So the first group of them are... This is an ogre and some murlocs and other things. And then the next group is a bunch of animals. Final group is a bunch of elementals. And then you finally get to play with the boss himself. For real. You can see how a dungeon like this with so many elements and having to fly from one place to another and that kind of thing could potentially take a long time to complete. I mean, even this video isn't that long, but it just feels like a long time to get through everything. I don't know, maybe it's just my perception, but so yep, take out these critters. Alright, now we go summon the Amber Dragon again. There's one more platform. One more platform to chase this guy on. Interrupt his spell making and all that. Alright, see, and I always do a little bit of damage to him before he disappears, but I don't do enough because he disappears so quickly, and by the time I catch up with him again, his health is back. So, just basically need to take out his minions as quickly as possible. Alright, now we have to go back after him. And he's no longer on the platforms, he's now on, yep, there he is in the center there. We'll go fly down there. And I get to disrupt him again. And that should be the end of him. And so after him, the final boss is Ley-Guardian Aragos, the big dragon at the end, the final boss. And yeah, you'll get to see what happens there. Am I dropping enough hints yet? Alright, so, and then he goes out in the center there, and that's right, he's supposed to do it, arcane explosion, but, which is what I'm trying to run away from, but he actually ends up dying before he can do it, because I guess I had a couple of dots on him or something, so, and dots is short for damage over time per, well, a dot is damage over time. Dots is just having more than one of those on a person. It's basically a spell. I don't think I can do a lot of dots, but I think there's one spell I have that, it infects with frost fever and that kind of thing. Alright, so here we go. Let's see if we can find that big bad boy. And you can see here that my spell options have changed, and I only have the options of the spells that this particular dragon can do. And like I said, this is the DPS dragon. So here I've got something on him that kind of freezes him. So I'm trying to shoot as much damage at him as possible. And unfortunately, I don't freeze him long enough to really do much damage at all to him, or at least definitely not enough. And then all of a sudden he starts summoning all these whelps add-ons to the fight. And you can see the health of my dragon kind of goes down pretty darn quickly. And there I go. Yeah. See, I wasn't able to use my own power against him. Now here I think I try, but I can't reach him. And him and the whelps are just pounding me. And I'm not doing any damage to them at all. And I'm like, okay, this is not good. Trying to do some damage, but just, you can see I'm not even scratching the surface of him right now with my own spells and things. Now see, if I was a paladin, I might be able to shoot some spells up there and keep myself healed at the same time. So I might have had a better chance. And maybe I'll come back and try this again with my paladin. She's not level 90 yet though, so I have to wait. But that was basically a fail. My first fail on a 5-man, but this was a heroic. And I've been reading up, and I've heard that the heroic on this is, for that particular fight, is nearly impossible to solo. So I don't feel too bad. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed seeing me fail with yet another boss. And until next week I'm going to be doing on Kahet, and followed by on Asjal Nerub, so the insecty ones. But I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And until next week, take care. Bye-bye.